Welcome to another episode of Hong Kong Sports Science YouTube channel. We're still on the most important 6 strength exercises for runners to keep you injury-free, running strong, staying happy. As you can see, I'm not wearing any shoes because we recommend you do those exercises barefooted to really work on that natural foot strength that you get without wearing that supportive shoes.
Yeah.
I'm Vlad Ixel, I'm a running coach and a trail runner, and here with me I got Joe.
So I'm Joe March, I'm the principal physio of Hong Kong Sports Clinic, and today we're going to look at a progression of single leg squats, or kind of single leg squats. They're really running specific exercises, and they really use the muscles, the glutes and the hammies, which we need to be good runners.
Before we show you the exercise, let's show you what you usually see in gyms. You see other people kind of do, how they kind of do their squats.
Yeah.
So, you know, we're going for a single-legged squat here, but you would see most people that would do a single-legged squat and they would do actually this.
Knee forward. All they're doing there is just going to be strengthening their quads, which, in my opinion, aren't that important to be strengthening for running because they're already quite strong in most people.
So that's something that I used to do before I started working with Joe. Once I started working with Joe, Joe introduced me to the same exercise, but suddenly I'm using my glute and my hamstring.
Yeah.
So the first progression of this exercise, I'm going to have my back foot on the ground, but I'm making sure I don't put too much weight on it.
It's just for balance.
It's more for balance so I don't actually fall. So this is the first progression. This is where most people would be, I would assume.
Yeah,
that's where I am at.
Yeah, exactly. This is where you should be starting at home for sure. Just to get the technique more than anything.
So I'll have my hands on my hips to help a bit of stability. And as I go down, I make sure that my knee doesn't go forward, so it's my butt going back.
So in the gyms, they'll say, don't let your knee go in front of your toes. But we're saying, don't let it go forward at all, almost. Bum back, chest forward a little bit more. Yeah, that's it. So where Vlad was there was the perfect finish spot. So there. So just pause there. So Vlad's got all his weight through his front heel, so you'll be feeling like the bump. And he'll be using that tension in the buttock to come back up to standing.
Making sure you're not putting too much weight on that back leg. Myself, you know, I'm guilty of putting too much and then I'm not really getting the whole benefits of this exercise. So really use that back foot, back leg, just to balance you.
So you see with Vlad's actually letting his shoulders come forward, which is important so that, just so he can balance. If he wasn't bringing his shoulders forward, he'd probably fall backwards. Or he'd take all his weight onto the back leg. Lovely.
So even after 6 reps right here, I'm already feeling it in my glute and in my hamstrings.
Yeah, it's really important. Yeah, it's so specific to those muscles.
Yeah, our second progression with this exercise, you know, it's a little bit harder. Take your time, obviously, to go from progression to progression. You know, our second progression is just having that foot in the air. So we're not getting that balance.
Not in front, like you see in the gyms. Not a pistol squat.
Yeah, making sure you don't have that in the front because that will make that knee go forward. So I'm going to bend my knee a little bit at the back. You can place your hands on your hips for a bit more stability.
Yeah, that's perfect. He's not doing much in terms of range of motion. It's nice and it's not very deep, and that's great because it means he's actually focusing on the technique. His knee's not coming forward. He's actually much better at this version than the first version, and that's because he's practicing this one a bit more. He feels that in the glute. When he feels the tension sort of build up in the glute, he pushes through his heel, comes back up into standing. He's letting his shoulders come forward again just so he doesn't fall backwards. Maybe you can show me what would happen if you didn't let your shoulders go forward.
That's what I used to do, actually.
So he starts to fall back because he's not using that as a counterbalance. So it is really important. Otherwise, your knee will go forward or you'll fall over, one of the two. So that's number 2 in the progression. Number 3.
Number 3 is usually, obviously, going to be the hardest one, and it's a lot more running specific. So that's the ones that you're going to kind of try and achieve in the future, but it will take you quite a lot of time. So be patient. Make sure that you build the right muscles, the right kind of strength before you jump onto the third progression.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be on my toes here. So very running specific.
He's on his 4 foot. He's as if he's just hit the ground as he's running along. Shoulders forward a bit more. Yeah, that's it. So he's still using that front foot to do all the work, but he's getting some calf working. He's getting his foot control strong, and he's very specific in the technique also. It's very much like running. This movement here is very much like pushing yourself forward whilst running.
So again, as you can see, it's not an easy exercise, but that's something they'll take you a bit of time to get to. So don't be frustrated if you can't get the third progression straight away.
Just play around with the technique. Make sure you feel it in your glute. If you're not feeling it in your big muscle in the back, on your backside, then you're probably doing the exercise wrong, and you should keep looking at the video. So just try and get the angles right. It's all about angles.
That's right. If you don't feel like you're doing the right exercise, you're not feeling it in the right muscles, rewatch this video. Watch it twice, 10 times till you get it right. The main thing here is to get the technique right.
Yeah.
We got a lot more videos to help you stay injury-free runner, strong runner, and a happy runner. So we will see you next time.
Thank you.